Welcome to Spiritual Psychology. My name's Renee McKenna, and I bring my 30-plus years as a recovering addict and ex-crazy person turned therapist and shamanic healer to bring you snackable teachings on spirituality, psychology, and all things personal growth. And today I want to talk about the Fool and the Magician. And before I record this podcast, I often pray or meditate or do a little ritual about what do people want to hear or need. And I actually have a long-running list of things I can choose from. But this morning, I was inspired to turn to the archetypes of the tarot, or tarot, as some people call it, and pull a card and see how the fates wanted to direct me. And I pulled card number 1, the Magician. And the wonderful thing about working with archetypes is that we can find ourselves in every single one of them, that we are in all of the cards and all of the cards are in us. And it's a really great way to work with your own intuition and more creative or non-rational ways of understanding yourself. While the more masculine, rational, intellectual part of ourselves might decide how we want to be or how we think we should be, the feminine, wisdom-informed aspects of ourself and universal mind are much more concerned with our soul and spiritual development and supporting our authentic self and being with what's true. And when we align those two things together, our intellect and our intuition, have them make friends with each other and work as a team, I have found that to be a more empowered, grounded, inspired, and fulfilling way to move through life. And the Magician is the first card in the tarot deck. Number 1, all the cards are numbered. And when I pulled out my favorite tarot book, The Ultimate Guide to Tarot Card Meanings by Bridget Esselmont, she has an excellent little digital app called Biddy Tarot. She's my go-to girl for deeper meanings in tarot because I don't have them all memorized. And I remembered there's a card before the Magician, card number 0, the Fool. And there's a beautiful quote attributed to Buddha. There are 2 mistakes one can make along the road to truth: not going all the way and not starting. And I love archetypes, as do some of my besties, because they are like guides and teachers to direct us into deeper wisdom about ourselves and how things unfold with a wisdom that we can trust, that even things we resist or turn away from, like death or loss, endings or hard work, they have their wisdom and they're necessary to this beautiful, complex, unfolding process that we're all in. But we're not going to talk about death and loss today, although I love to talk about those things. We're going to talk about the Fool and the Magician. And the Fool is number 0, a number of unlimited potential. And so it doesn't have a specific space or place in the sequence of tarot cards. The Fool could be at the beginning or the end, or maybe anywhere in the middle. And the Fool's part of the major arcana. And these are the big archetype cards that represent our life lessons and the karmic influences and themes that influence our individual life and our soul's journey to awakening. Major arcana cards are deep and complex in meaning in really beautiful ways. They represent the structure of human consciousness and hold the keys to life lessons passed down through the ages. And some would say that the Fool is the main character of the major arcana and makes his journey through each of the cards, meeting new teachers, learning new life lessons along the way, and eventually reaching the completion of his journey in the World card. And this could be called the Fool's Journey and could be a really helpful way to understand the storyline of the major arcana tarot cards. But we are all on a fool's journey here as humans. And the more fully and deeply we submit ourselves to participating and understanding this human journey that we're on, the more wondrous, magical, and fulfilling it can be. Even the sticky parts. And the other great thing about archetypes is that we can access the energy of them and their attitudes to use in our own life at any moment. So in the Fool card, a young man stands on the edge of a cliff without a care in the world, and he's setting out on a new adventure. He looks up toward the sky and the universe, seemingly unaware that he is about to skip off the edge of a cliff into the unknown. On his shoulder, he has a little knapsack containing everything he needs, which isn't much. And he holds a white rose in his left hand, representing purity and innocence. There's a little white dog at his feet, representing loyalty and protection, that encourages him to charge forward and learn the lessons he came here to learn. The mountains behind him symbolize the challenges yet to come, and they're forever present, but the fool doesn't care about them right now. In fact, he may even enjoy their beauty. He's more focused on beginning his adventure. So fool energy is that of new beginnings, opportunity, and unlimited potential. And there is this great truism that today is the first day of the rest of your life. So at any moment, on any day, we can embrace the fool's energy, seek it out, use it as a map or an inspiration for our own attitude. And really, just like the fool, on any day, we are about to step off the precipice into the unknown. And we can do that with fear or resentment or judgment, or we can do it from a place of adventure, open-mindedness, and curiosity. The fool throws caution to the wind and is ready to embrace the unknown. We're going to leave fear and worry and anxiety behind about what may or may not happen and move forward into new experiences, personal growth, development, and perhaps exciting adventures. And even if you don't feel 100% ready or equipped to start your journey, the fool just has a little backpack, and the universe will provide what you need along the way. Fool energy is relaxed, playful, joyful, and fun. Fool energy points to the wisdom of Jesus that tells us to be as little children, laugh more, dance more, let your heart be free. Fool energy is really helpful to meditate on or pray for if you're struggling with dread or worry or self-doubt in your life. You might consider letting the fool's energy of wonderment, curiosity, and intrigue guide you, because he is the embodiment of who you really are. Your free spirit, your inner child, your authentic, playful soul. Step into the unknown and trust that the universe will catch you and escort you along the way. We can think of all the great young heroes in modern mythology. Luke Skywalker, Frodo in The Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter when he goes to Hogwarts, and Lyra from the Golden Compass. They each embodied fool energy of new beginnings and possibilities into their life, but they had to make a journey out of their old way and step out into the unknown, into the adventures that awaited them. And we are all on a hero's journey here. And we could understand the archetypes of the tarot as these different energies that will come to help us, guide us, and meet us to support and direct our journey. So card number 1 is the Magician, and it's about manifestation, resourcefulness, power, and inspired action. And we all have magician energy within us. And the reverse or shadow side of magician energy is manipulation, poor planning, and untapped talents. And the magician stands with one arm stretched up toward the universe and the other pointing down toward the earth. And this represents the connection that we all have between the spiritual realms and the material realms. That each of us as humans is a creative conduit that converts consciousness or energy into matter in material form. And his robe is white, symbolizing purity and clarity of intention. And on the table in front of him are the 4 symbols of the other tarot suits, which point to the major aspects of life. It's a cup, a pentacle, a sword, and a wand. And these represent 4 of the major powers that inform our life: emotions, money, intellect, and spirituality or inspiration. They're also related to the 4 elements of water, earth, air, and fire. And the magician has access to all of these, as do we, all the time. That we actually have all of the tools that we need to manifest our intentions into being. And above his head is an infinity symbol, and around his waist is a snake biting its own tail. And both symbolize access to unlimited potential. And magician energy is that of manifestation, and points to the reality that we have all of the tools, resources, and energy that we need to make our dreams come true. That we have the spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical resources to manifest our desires. And the key is learning how to bring these tools together synergistically so that we can create the life and the experiences that we came here to live. And so the Fool energy calls us to approach life like a quest rather than some drudgery to be endured and then we die. Blech. Now, the shadow side of the Fool energy is fear of the unknown and not actually starting on our journey. It may be because we're over-controlling and don't trust that the universe has our back. And so we live constricted and fear-based and bitter, unfulfilled. The other shadow side of the Fool is to be overly reckless. That was kind of my trajectory. The shadow of the Fool is often addiction. It may seem spontaneous and adventurous, but it has total disregard of consequences and puts ourselves and others at risk, or puts that spontaneous life spark energy of adventure and curiosity in a little secret box, like porn addiction, compulsive eating, or drinking too much. That energy leaks out in ways that aren't really aligned with our deeper purpose or intentions, and then we feel ashamed of it. True Fool energy is inspiring and life-affirming. So if you have a lot of fear or shame or control in your life, you might want to curate or practice some Fool energy of playfulness, fun, curiosity, and adventure in your life, in your work, in your relationships, in your bedroom, in your finances. Now, we all have the best of ourselves and the worst of ourselves. And getting honest about all of that helps us to live in a place of consciousness and intention and choice about how we act. And it is our actions and behavior that create our reality. So being aware of the shadow side, being willing to confront it and evolve it so that we can live from our best self is what all of my spiritual psychology work is about. Enriching what is good about us and composting what no longer serves. So the reverse or shadow of the magician energy is greed and manipulation, control or trickery. Puts us out of touch with our higher self and into our selfishness. So we're only concerned with our own personal gain, even at the expense of others. The shadow of magician, or the unexpressed magic that we all have the potential to perform, is lack of clarity, having no goals or vision. We don't know what we want to manifest, and so we don't manifest anything at all. And so I encourage you to consider where you can embrace the energy of the Fool and the magician in your life. Consider your life before you as a quest, an adventure. And how can you use the tools of your own resources of intellect and intuition, of power and spiritual connection to bring into being that which you came here to manifest for the benefit of yourselves and others? Thank you so much for listening. If you like this podcast, please leave a review or share it with a friend. If you'd like to find out if a block of spiritual psychology work would benefit you in your life, shoot me an email. info@reneemckenna.com. Deep gratitude to my supporters on Patreon. Blessings on your path until we meet again. This is Renee McKenna for Spiritual Psychology.